think outside the cage.
What's going on, everybody? It's your best buddy Basil, and boy oh boy are things going on. Things are going on all over the place, but we're glad to have you here. The show's just about to get started. What does that even mean? We're doing it, baby. Well, I'm glad everybody's here. I'm here. Gonza's here. I'm just sorry if I sound crazy. I'm trying to send the text message. And the VR, it's moving so slow. It's moving so slow. It's episode 777 and things are so exciting. Oh my gosh. Rumble's here. What's up, Rumble? We got Nat of the Hungry Panda. We got Santa Wears Brown. We got that girl, Rebecca. What's up, Rebecca? Guitarman86. Over on YouTube, we got Elio. Elio, what's going on? All right, we'll see how this works. Text message is now out. I spent some time on the phone with customer support with our text message alert program. They said it's all just a big misunderstanding. They said they're gonna let the text messages go, but we will see. We'll be the judge of that. Let's see here. They gave us back the money. They gave us back our money. Night of the Hungry Panda says, not streaming on Rumble yet. Gabrielle says, no text. Folks, here's the thing. The text message alert says, we're going to see if it's fixed. I just sent the text. It's going to take a second to get out there. But hundreds of you out across the world are going to receive a text directly from me. It's our text message alert system. The censorship is hot. It is hot right now. We're going to tell you all about it. But the text message alert system is at least our attempt to have a direct connection with those who just want to get a little message to know that the show is going live. We just send it out before every show. It's just a little thing. Fun part is you can text that number back. You can say all sorts of things. Somebody just texted and just said, I haven't got a text yet, but maybe soon. Yes, maybe soon. We'll see if this goes. 717 says, hoping to make it home for the live. 777. 843, since Ecclesiastes 5:7, talk is cheap, like daydreams and other useless activities. Fear God instead. Ecclesiastes 5:7, that's a good one. They also send Ecclesiastes 6:9, enjoy what you have rather than desiring what you don't have. Just dreaming about nice things is meaningless, like chasing the wind. Ecclesiastes sounds like fire to me. Thank you very much, 843. 573 says, oh, yeah, okay, that's for the show. Saving that one for the show. You can even send us mean texts. We get mean texts sometimes. I'll read you one of those during the show. That'll be fun. So text the word canary to 877-740-3226. That's 877-740-3226. Text the word canary, and you will get put on the list. 530 says, you fixed it. I did fix it. Night of the Hungry Panda says, smash the like. You got the text. There you go, folks. Text canary to 877-740-3226. Let's start the show.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy. You are listening to Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today is September 25th, 2024. We are live to tape on episode 777. And today, 777 Jackpot, signing on from Off the Grid. I'm your Razzle Dazzle. I'm your best buddy Basil. And you are not crazy. Dang it, I messed it up on 777.
And my name is Gonz, director of the Age of Deceit films, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ, live to tape from the land of Newscomb to bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. And today's emergent phenomenon, let there be light in this age of deceit.
Ooh, nice.
There
Nice.
we
It's a big
go.
day, folks. It's a big day. We're glad you're here with us. For those who are here with us, KHP even said he even got the YouTube alert. That is mind-blowing.
Whoa.
But it's an exciting day because, of course, it is episode 777, which is very exciting. But also,
Crazy.
Gons, allegedly, the release of Age of Deceit 4.
What do you mean allegedly? What do you
Allegedly.
Are you
I don't wanna
skeptical that it's
Well, let's tell the story.
okay?
Because
Okay.
we sent out the early access version of the film to the Age of Deceit 4 focus group. We sent it out to them yesterday, giving them a head start on everybody else and said the real one's coming tomorrow. But then Gons uploaded the version, the final version, to Vimeo. We used Vimeo because it's got great embed options. And we got a text message from, or not a text, we got an email from Vimeo at like 5:30 in the morning. And it says, hello, Canary Cry, your account has been removed by the Vimeo staff. I like how they
Thanks.
say by the staff. So
are
a
you sure? Are they
human.
sure it's not AI? I'm not convinced. I think it's
No,
it's AI.
It's staff. We got the
Staff, yeah,
loving
right.
touch, the human fingerprint of the Vimeo
The human
staff
earhole.
decided that AOD4 was violating our acceptable use policy. The reason: we do not permit accounts that upheld conspiracy-related content,
Upload, yeah.
suggests that real-world tragedy did not occur. Okay, Alex
which
Jones.
I don't.
Or
Yeah,
violates
come on, I didn't
other
say
content
anything.
restrictions.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, folks. You have not seen it. I have seen the film. I have seen it in pieces, and I've seen it all together. The film really does not break any of those rules. It's really bizarre. It's very straightforward. It's very academic. There's nothing theorized in it. Everything you present is right there out in the open. I just think they don't like us, or it's a spiritual thing.
Well, if they are events, real world tragedies that did not occur, or perhaps they should have said has not occurred yet. If we're talking about future things, maybe that's where the algo is a little lenient on stuff like that, and we got caught in the net. But
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah,
Vimeo.
maybe.
I don't know Vimeo.
Maybe.
I don't know what the. I'm not surprised, to be honest with you, but it is
I mean, there's a
right
reason
on right on brand, I would say.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say there's a reason why nobody uses Vimeo. Like, I don't know why we thought Vimeo would. Well,
The
I know
embed
why.
options. It's the
Yeah, they
embed options are great.
They have good technical capabilities, and those technical capabilities we are hoping to leverage for the film. But yeah, nobody's going around talking about how great Vimeo is for content and censorship.
Yeah, when decentralized Vimeo, give me Vimeo. Just
5:30.
leverage IPFS. Do some local decentralized transactions.
5:30 in
uphold
the morning.
content.
Yeah,
Yeah,
5:30 in the
5:30.
morning, we got the message that not just like, hey, here's a warning, not hey, we took down this video, just your account is removed. Just the whole account is removed, which was really, it seems like an overreaction, Vimeo. So anyways, what's the plan for Age of Deceit 4, Guns?
Well, the publish button is ready to go on Rumble, as well as on X. So
Okay.
on my X account, it looks like it's all uploaded there, 100% uploaded. Just
Great.
got to hit the Well, it's still questionable whether once I hit the button, it actually will go through because X and Twitter. I have not successfully published an entire film yet. Every time I've tried to publish the earlier films, which were longer,
You're
admittedly,
saying
I think
you
they were.
posted them, uploaded them to X.
Yes,
a
to
full-length
publish
film.
them. Yeah, full length. It told me it was too long. So, I mean, I'm paying for the highest thing there, Elon. So hopefully you'll let me publish the whole film here, which is about an hour and 40.
So what?
should
You want to press the button at the end of the show?
Let's do it at the end. Well, I don't know, because I'm kind of worried that some of these, the template, especially Rumble, times out sometimes. And if that's the case, I got to type in all the stuff again, and I got to do
Okay.
all that.
Well,
So
you wanna
maybe
just do it right now. I mean, everybody's gonna leave the show and
they're
go
going to
watch
leave the
that.
show and go watch it. Yeah, that's
But I
true.
guess
All right,
it's not the end of the world. I
they
mean,
can come
it's
back
fine.
here and watch this
Yeah,
episode
they can
later
press
too.
share. Here's what we'll do. We'll do an experiment. Why don't you post it now? It's very exciting. And then, you know, at the end of the show, we'll see how many people left this show to go watch that, or just opened it and left it for after. It's like a post show. It's a post show.
Yeah. Well, if you're on Rumble, especially, why don't you go over there and type in CCNT or something in the comments, just so you know that you came, or we know that you came from.
Once it's posted, you mean?
Yeah. Once it's posted. So
and hit like and share it and do that. We'll start the snowball now.
All right.
Here we go. AOD4.
I feel like I should have music, some kind of music.
Yeah, go ahead, do music, and then let me.
We'll do the microfiction
hype. I'll hype it here. In a world where censorship and the beast system reign over the minds and hearts of humanity, one film promises to let the light in through the curtains and shine truth on the technocratic dystopia that our lizard overlords are trying to lock us in a cage. But one man dares to break free from that cage. That man is Gonzo Shimura, back by popular demand, his 4th installment of the Age of Deceit documentary series, opening eyes for a decade or more. His
there
new
it is
thing.
Done.
Here it goes. He pressed the button, and now it's there. Whoa! The world was never the same.
All right, let me see if I can share.
That's the climax of the whole episode today. So we just did it right at the beginning. That's fine.
I'm gonna share the I'm gonna share the link in the Rumble chat, and I mean, maybe I'll save the X one for later. I don't know. I can do the X one now too.
No,
to see if it works.
The people in the chat can share it, retweet.
Well, I know, but it's okay.
Well, that's the thing. Well, we got to see how much can we get the ball rolling during the show here.
Okay, so we'll do. Maybe I'll publish the X version after the show.
Are we streaming in all the places we should be streaming?
We should be. The little thing tells me that we are.
The tiny room is really closing in. It seems like
we're in the trash bin in Star Wars in that trash
the tiny
bin
room censorship where they slowly kick us out of people's subscriptions and feeds and stuff. We're like in the tiny closet now. We're in the tiny. People don't even know that
we're still there.
Yeah. Anyways, well, let's get the show started. Why don't we hit that disclaimer just in case?
Okay, let's disclaim.
It's time for a disclaimer.
Now listen up,
YouTube. That's right. And just for all the content moderators and censorship managers out there, be they robots or humans, everything you hear on this show comes directly from the mainstream corporate news media. We do not claim to be experts on healthcare, geopolitics, military strategy, corporate law, or the moral and ethical implications of any of these topics, nor do we implicitly or explicitly support or subscribe to any sources or narratives containing misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation, as defined by the Department of Homeland Security. We're good boys. All right, YouTube, we're good boys.
It's a delay thing, or do you just not talk anymore?
Yeah, it must have been delay. The video is set to private. You got to take the video off of private.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't private.
That's
video.
okay. We're going to take it off of private. Live on this. It's just as exciting. It's just as exciting as publishing, as taking it off of restricted and private.
Please wait till
release.
Please wait till your video finishes processing.
Okay, it's processing.
All right.
So that's
good. Okay.
Well, it's a good thing we did it here at the top of the show then. It'll process during the show. By the end of the show, it'll be ready. That's the
Very
deal.
good. Very good.
All right. So, yeah, you don't have to post that link quite yet, folks, because it's not going to work. Okay. With that, let me give you a rundown.
Oh, look, here's Basil.
Let me bring you up to speed.
Starting off, Kamala and her relationship with the border has been a roller coaster of emotion for about 3.5 years now, almost 4 years. But there's another flare-up. She's having another flare-up of the border blues. We will listen or watch a clip of CNN. Even CNN is not buying it anymore. And of course, Trump has something to say about that. Segueing into Trump here. Trump being briefed on an alleged assassination threat by Iran. Yet another A plot has been discovered for the assassination of President Trump. We'll get into that. Big constitutional amendments on the floor today. Congressional constitutional amendment in the case of a mass casualty event. Congress sounds like they want to start an aristocratic sort of system here in America. We already have a presidential candidate who has never received a single vote. And now the system's being set up to put Congress people in Congress without a single vote. It's going to be very exciting. We'll get into that. Alex Jones is the wheel just keeps on turning with Alex Jones over there. The judge approved auctions to liquidate Alex Jones's Infowars to help pay the Sandy Hook families. This presents a very interesting opportunity that some people are discovering about what this means for the future of Infowars. Big news with the EPA. Federal court has ruled in the case of fluoridating water in the United States. That's an exciting one at the end of the show. Longtime listeners will remember us talking about a weird little topic called suicide booths way, way back in the day. And so we got to get an update on that. The Sarco, short for sarcophagus, suicide pod is used for the first time in the United States. That story at the end. And of course, we'll be having all sorts of excitement for episode 777. Before we jump into that first story, Gons, I do want to thank our executive producers for coming in and making episode 777 happen.
Executive producers.
That's right, folks. We're on the value for value model, which means we don't take any money from corporations, commies, or cartels. A lot of people roll their eyes at that, but they do not know how rare it is to not have corporate money in independent media. And for us, it's also a spiritual issue. Principalities and powers monetizing, commoditizing our trust and attention. And who knows what else, our consciousness, for the sake of corporate profit. But not here. Here, it's all about the producers, and that's you. You can come in, you can produce the show with your time, your talent, or your treasure. Lots of ways. This show exists by the grace of God and by the participation of people around the world in all sorts of ways to keep this show going. The executive producers are people who come in financially for $100 or more for any individual episode. And that's why we thank them here at the top, and you should too. Starting out, Gons, with executive producer Sir Jacob Highline Haas and Knight of the Issachar Pursuit.
Where'd you find this?
Bankroll out the bankroll, I spend.
Thank you.
Sir Jacob Highline Haas, the Knight of the Issachar Pursuit, member of the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames. He comes in for $107.77. Woo!
Nice.
And he sends a note here. Says, quote, "All things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be dominated by anything. I am so glad this show is not dominated by anything, ads in particular. Cheers to 777. Thank you very much, Sir Jacob.
Hey, thank you.
Hey, there you go. He gets
That's
it.
awesome.
See, a lot of people don't get it, but the people who get it, they get it. And you know who else gets it is executive producer Haley F.
Where'd you find this?
Bankroll out the bankroll, I spend. Women rule.
Thank you, Haley F.
Yeah, Haley F comes in. I had to do a little bit of math, but I believe Haley F came in for $107.77 plus fees.
Nice.
Yeah. I did not get a note from Haley F, but if one comes in, we'll be sure to share that with the class. Thank you very much, executive producer Haley F. Next up, we have executive producer Joe G.
Joe G. Thank you, Joe G. Oh, executive producer.
Where'd you find this?
Bankroll out the bankroll, I spend.
Joe G was the first to come in for the episode 777 Knight and Dame special, meaning that Joe G comes in for $777, making him an instant knight at the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames. Congratulations, you're on the list for the ceremony later on in the show. Joe G sends a note, says, "Hey gents, congrats on reaching episode 777. I'm stoked to celebrate it with my knighthood. My wife and I have been foster parents for several years, so it's a ministry that's very close to my heart. That said, I'd like to be knighted as Sir Joe G, Knight of the Fatherless. I pray the Lord doubles his grace for you to do another 777 episode. Love y'all's Joe G."
Oh,
Thank
that's
you very
awesome.
much, Joe G.
That's amazing.
So very special. We're honored to have your support and to knight you at the end of the show. And God bless you for your foster ministry there. That's amazing.
Yep.
Next on the list, the other $777 777 Knighthood Damehood special is executive producer Miranda L.
Where'd you find this?
Miranda L. Thank you so much. Going to be damed at the end of the show today, of course. Sent a note. "Greetings, Basil and Gons. I should have taken advantage of this before, but perhaps there's a reason the good Lord has put it on my heart to give now. I pray that God will strengthen, lead you on this journey, and give you wisdom to reach the lost." Amigos heart emoji. Thank you very much, executive producer Miranda L. Goodness gracious. Yes, God's timing is perfect. And thank you for being sensitive to that. We'll be daming you later on in the show.
Nice. Thank you, Miranda L.
Yes, very, very special. Both Miranda L. and Joe G will be receiving the very special exclusive episode 777 Knight and Damehood Challenge coin, which will be very special.
Do we have a picture of that, or is that just
no,
in design
I don't have
right
one.
now?
Yeah, it's because it's a short run.
Sure.
It's getting put together. We don't have it right now.
Cool.
We have, but who knows? Maybe I'll have one next time or whatever if we keep the special going or something. Last but not least, we have executive producer Sir Darren, Not of the Hungry Panda.
Where'd you find this?
Thank you, Sir Darren. Sir Darren actually has his own jingle, does he not? Yeah,
Probably.
He does.
Sir Darren comes in for $111.11. 1111111.
Is that technically 1111?
Sure.
11.
And sent a little note here for the AOD4 account. Yes, this was a thing we discovered once Vimeo got at us that AOD needed its own Twitter account and also needed it verified and all these things in order to help the film get out, have some sort of fighting chance with some sort of algos. Sir Darren came in and it's taken responsibility for that. Thank you very much, Sir Darren.
Yeah, unfortunately, the first couple attempts to actually make that Age of Deceit X account failed. I don't know if I can open another account. Maybe I think they got me. I think Elon doesn't like me, so
it's
can't
weird.
complete your sign up right now.
New World Order Fantasy League Twitter account that I started a year or two ago immediately got taken down as well.
Huh.
It was weird. I don't know why. Anyways, so there's that.
Can't do anything on the internet, Basil.
We'll figure it out. You got
on the internet.
Yeah, you need either a new device maybe or a VPN or something to make that happen. But we'll figure it out.
VPNs are on, man. But yeah, VPNs are not the best shields.
No, I think it's a device number. I know that Twitter pays attention to device number. Thank you
Yes,
very much to all of our executive producers making this a very exciting and possible episode 777.
Amazing. Thank you, everybody. It's seriously amazing.
If there's still time, if anybody wants to produce the show, you can go to canarycry.support to learn more.
Canarycry.support.
That's right. All right, now time to get to our lead stories, Gons.
Let's get into it.
We should invite fewer people to be born.
That's the wrong jingle, but it's right next to the Kamala jingle. I mean, it's the same thing,
All kidding aside, of course, President Harris.
We got to take this stuff seriously as you are, because you have been forced to have to take it seriously.
President Harris.
Where in the world is
Kamala?
She's at the border, apparently. Kamala. So yes, as the election draws near, all attention is on this woman, Kamala Harris, and Donald Trump. Charlie Kirk, who's part of the conservative, what is it, TPS? Is that what they're called? I forget the exact name.
Yeah,
the conservative organization.
Conservative alt media.
TPUSA. That's what it is. That's right. Turning Point USA.
TPS reports.
Yes. He tweeted or X'd or posted, boom, Basil, CNN's Ava McKind just demolished Kamala's, quote, I'm tough on the border routine. Now, if you read this, I don't know, 5 years ago, if somebody said, boom, CNN's fill in the blank anchor demolishes anybody, or usually it's Trump, right? You would think, okay, well, all right, using CNN as your slam example is kind of, I don't know about that. But here we are, Charlie Kirk, conservative, leading the right wing type of dude, using CNN's anchor. And it goes to show where CNN is in terms of their, I guess, analysis of what's happening politically. But we do have the clip if you want to hear the video.
I mean, I think maybe to not bury the lead, I think everybody, all the mass media, all the polls, all the everything, they all know that Trump's going to win. They all know it. Yeah. And CNN especially, but others like them, are realizing it. And they want to basically save themselves.
Be on the right side of history?
Yeah, they're trying to hold on to some face. They're trying to save face. And I think that's an example of what we see here.
It's called capitulation, Basil. Capitulation.
The vice president has a long history, a well-documented history of really being an ally to these immigrant communities. She has 2 chapters in her book, I Say We Fight and We Are Better Than This, where she really makes a robust case for undocumented immigrants. During the Trump administration, she talked about a climate of fear. She dismissed the border wall as ineffective and a waste of resources. And even her guest at the joint session of Congress was a DACA recipient, was a dreamer. And so for her to go down there and characterize herself as tough on the border, to me, it isn't consistent with a lot of the policy positions that she previously has espoused.
Slam!
Yeah.
Slam!
I don't know about slam.
Demolished Kamala! Demolished her!
You know what I think we're also seeing? I think it is a result of these polls, but I think what Kamala is doing also is included in this, is that it feels like Kamala and the maybe entire sort of that wing of the media is sacrificing potential votes from the far left who already don't like Kamala because of Israel and Gaza. So there's a big portion of the left who is not happy with the establishment because of Israel, Gaza. And I think what Kamala is realizing is that she can't keep the far left anyways, and the moderate voters, what she gains in moderate voters by pretending to care about the border now will make up dramatically for what she's going to lose in the far left.
Right. That makes sense. So yeah, she was down by the border, and there's a video from the chanting. Would you like to experience?
Yeah, was this down by the border, or was this somewhere else?
I thought it was by the border, but maybe not. Maybe this.
Well,
is just
this was another clip. This was another clip in relation to her, sudden tough stance on the border. This is a protest somewhere, sometime that Kamala Harris is joining in on, which kind of goes against this idea that she wants to be tough on the border.
Down with deportation, up with education. Down with deportation, up with education.
Down with deportation, up with education. That's what they're saying.
And you have Kamala Harris in the middle of this protest. She's bouncing around, she's dancing, she's chanting along with them. She's pointing her finger in the sky for up, and pointing it down for down. A little bit of Baphomet signaling there. Who knows?
As above, so below.
As above, so below. Kamala leading the chant there. But yes, this is also getting passed around as evidence that Kamala is not a real person, or maybe a human being who is simply out for herself, or perhaps being controlled by a machine. A vote for Kamala is a vote for a machine, not just Kamala. And a lot of Democrats actually like that. They kind of prefer that they're not voting for a person, that they're voting for a system.
Yeah.
And I think that's becoming pretty clear to everybody.
I think that's the thing. It's becoming clear to everybody. It does feel like, and this is just a feeling, the voter base for all kinds of stuff is shifting around a little bit. The traditional, not traditional, but the mold of conservative, the mold of liberal is changing a little bit. But we expected that. That stuff moves around constantly.
I mean, yeah, we've been seeing that pretty heavily the past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. It's again, it feels like capitulation, that nobody likes Kamala. A lot of the left don't like her right now. I don't know if it's just because they have a bad candidate that's so easily, kind of pointed out the hypocrisies, and just her behavior in general is pretty odd to be a presidential candidate. Donald J. Trump commented on Kamala Harris on X.
You don't say.
Yeah,
that's so unlike him.
Took the opportunity. I'm glad, he's sort of creeping into posting on Twitter/X again. This one,
I noticed that.
Yeah, and this one's great because he's not doing all caps on this one.
Wow.
It's a little bit more, I don't know, docile Trump.
Reserved.
After almost 4 years, border czar Kamala Harris has decided for political reasons that it's time for her to go to our broken southern border. What a disgrace that she waited so long, allowing millions of people to enter our country from prisons, mental institutions, and criminal cells all over the world, not just South America. Many of those coming are terrorists and at a level never seen before. She's trying to con the public like she did a good job at the border, when in fact she has destroyed the very fabric of our nation, allowing 21 million people in from places unknown. When Kamala is seen at the border on Friday, she will pass hundreds of miles of wall that was built by Trump. There's the caps. And it is wall that works. It was built by Trump, and it is wall that works. When she speaks, be advised that this woman has allowed more than 21 million people into our country, totally unvetted and from places unknown. They are now creating criminal havoc all throughout the country. Every state is a border state. When she speaks, I hope everybody remembers that she has caused our cities, towns, and country itself tremendous damage, and only I can fix it. Only I, says Trump. He's the only one that can fix it.
Interesting sort of messianic end there. You know what clip I did not see going around that should be going around? I think it was Kamala on 60 Minutes or something, when she was asked, why haven't you gone to the border? And she goes,
oh, yeah,
I haven't been to Europe. I haven't been to
the
Europe.
Old one.
So...
That's really... We might even have... I don't know if we have that. I know we might have played that one a few years ago. But yes,
sure
that was it was the one where she got... All of her interviews are like that. She kind of starts playing with, I'm joking, but I'm not. But you can't tell, but I'm a politician, and he. That's kind of how she's made it, I think, to be honest.
Well, as we travel down the road here, this is coming from Reuters.
Are we going into Trump?
Let's go into Trump.
Full Trump.
We will launch a new age. I am
innocent. Innocent.
They're coming after me.
They love
All
killing.
Caps. All caps.
All
Trump.
caps.
Headline is Trump briefed on alleged assassination threats by Iran, his campaign says. Really soft, really soft headline, considering the details. I think it's really interesting. I mean, that's part of the fun of this, of our job here, is experiencing the different gentle ways that the mainstream media can soften the idea that yet another assassination attempt was
what's also interesting,
at least plotted against
right, plotted. Well, what's interesting is that you would have to, the world is a big place, Basil. There are a lot of people. You'd have to imagine that somebody somewhere was, quote unquote, plotting some kind of assassination attempt as soon as the anti-Trump campaign type of thing started, mass media campaign, 2015, 2016, somewhere in there. So the fact that it's all news now, obviously, because of the actual attempt, it's just interesting, right? You talked about how it's a moneymaker right now, which it is. It's clickable and stuff. So the theme will continue to roll forward as we predicted. But it is one of those things where once it becomes a news thread, a topic, a beat, if you will, you just have to question why it wasn't before, you know? Because the existence of assassination plots probably is, unreported for years.
Yeah, for sure. This article reads, Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump was briefed on Tuesday by U.S. intelligence officials on alleged threats from Iran to assassinate him, Trump's campaign said. Now, first paragraph, again, kind of bearing the lead. What exactly are we talking about? Okay, alleged threats from Iran. Okay, that makes sense. Quote, President Trump was briefed earlier today. So the news is that Trump was briefed about something. That is the news being reported. We'll see a little bit later on. The news maybe could have been reported a little different. Quote, President Trump was briefed earlier today by the Office of the Director of National Intelligence regarding a real and specific threats from Iran to assassinate him in an effort to destabilize and sow chaos on the United States, the campaign said in a statement. The campaign said that intelligence officials have identified that Iranian threats have, quote, heightened in the past few months, and U.S. government officials were working to protect Trump and ensure the elections were not impacted. Trump said later on his Truth Social site there were, quote, big threats on his life by Iran, adding, Iranian moves did not succeed, but they will try again. Iran has previously denied U.S. claims of interfering in American affairs. Iran's permanent mission to the United Nations in New York did not respond to a request for comment on Tuesday. An ODNI spokesperson acknowledged the briefing on Tuesday, but declined to address specifics. Earlier this month, a Pakistani man with alleged ties to Iran pleaded not guilty to charges stemming from an alleged plot to assassinate an American politician in retaliation for the 2020 killing by the U.S. of Iranian military commander Qasem Soleimani. So they don't even name the politician who this Iranian guy, they call him Pakistani here with alleged ties to Iran, pleaded not guilty for an alleged plot to assassinate an American politician in retaliation to the killing of Qasem Soleimani. Well, who killed Qasem Soleimani? It was Donald Trump. So the lightest possible brush of detail coming from Reuters here, when the truth is, it was just like a week ago or something. They arrested, who knows if he's, I guess maybe he could be Pakistani guy with alleged ties to Iran. But he was an Iranian guy with $1 million, offering $1 million as a reward for killing Donald. This was like an active thing happening actively. The guy got arrested recently for offering $1 million for the killing of Trump. And yet Reuters it's almost like it's the LaCroix of reporting. LaCroix, they have different flavored bubbly waters, but it's almost like, a kiwi farted in a can of sparkling water. That's how light and tasteful, it's being presented. That's kind of the same thing here. This is the LaCroix of reporting Reuters doing here in regards to the event that happened not too long ago. And then they go, let's see here, a paragraph or two down, it goes, U.S. government agencies said last week Iranian hackers sent emails. Oh, then they're just kind of covering the July 13th shooting, muddying the waters with the Iranian emails, yada, yada, yada. So it's, let's not, they're really trying to not overhype the fact that there was another assassination attempt on Trump. They're just sort of cracking open a LaCroix and saying, oh, it kind of gives you the essence of assassination attempt, which is
the essence.
It's kind of gross. I mean, it's just like, of course, every assassination attempt that continues, now it's just compounding. If somebody didn't realize, hey, that's weird that they're trying to kill him. They shot his ear. That's kind of intense, man. They really must not like this guy. Then the second guy on the golf course. Oh my gosh, he waited 12 hours and he went to Ukraine to fight for Ukraine. Weird. Okay. maybe Trump's onto something. I mean, I don't really, what's going on? To have another one come out and say, America's worst enemies are offering $1 million to kill Trump. Every time another one happens, it's turning a new segment of the population to have the thought in their head, which is, America's enemies really don't like this guy. There must be something here more than mean tweets.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, somebody else might think, well, okay, well, it was 150K. Now it's $1 million. 10, 20 million. What's their price? What do you think? It's going to be $1 billion? $1 billion to whoever takes them out. Is that when the race starts?
Well, I mean, there's something to be said about, no, the race has started. There's 5 teams, according to Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz.
I know, but 1 million, 1 million's not going to, they're not going to roll out of bed. Those assassin teams, $1 million is not going to tickle their ears.
I think $1 million. I think $1 million's a good day's work. I think they need to hand out. They need to dangle more before the real assassin, like the real ones that can really take him out. To get out of bed. That's just my opinion. But just as a side note, Basil, I'm going through the Rumble here, and it is set to public. So anyone can watch this video. It's set to public. So I don't know why think it was
it's not
processing was the thing, maybe.
Okay, maybe it's still set at 0 views, but nobody wants to see the film. It's okay. It's all right.
Well, I mean, it might still be processing for them.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, I could try to go to it, but I'm trying to get other things.
Back to Trump tweets. He did tweet about this Iranian situation. And here's what he said. Big threats on my life by Iran. The entire U.S. military is watching and waiting. Moves are already made by Iran that didn't work out, but they will try again. Not a good situation for anyone. I am surrounded by more men, guns, and weapons than I have ever seen before. Thank you to Congress for unanimously approving far more money to Secret Service. 0 no votes. Strictly bipartisan. Nice to see Republicans and Democrats get together on something.
Isn't that nice?
An attack on a former president is a death wish for the attacker. 3.3 million views there, Basil. 333. This is a different tone of Trump. Truly, I mean, the no all caps, talking about nice to see Republicans and Democrats get together. Again, he's sort of representing the unification moment, maybe the capitulation moment of the left to some degree, but then the unification of America, maybe, as we move into a network state. And he's sort of, bringing a lot of people along, it seems like. It's a good way to build bridges, I suppose. And then, just throw Kamala under. She's so easy to throw under the bus for the left and the Democrats and everybody, It's not like they're letting go of somebody charismatic or someone they love like Obama or something. It's Kamala Harris, no offense to her, but it's just even her supporters don't seem to really know what's going on. So, just an interesting moment of capitulation, I would say.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because we are also tracking the bipartisan support for increasing the budget for congressional security guards.
Right.
This was after the first Trump assassination attempt in July. Almost immediately did a bipartisan movement to increase everybody's budget for protection because, they may play enemies on TV, the left and the right.
Right.
But in the
nobody
end,
wants to actually get shot or
in the end, they all, want to protect themselves, which, you can't really blame them for. So, I think that's why I didn't see the actual documentation of what the actual vote was.
Yeah, I did
or
pull it
whatever,
up.
like what the, what form did it take? Was it just like a congressional, budget thing? Was it a law that was passed? I'm not really sure. Do you know?
Yes. So here we have this CBS News. House unanimously votes. Hopefully this isn't playing or anything, the audio. Okay, good. House unanimously votes to boost Secret Service protection for presidential and VP candidates. That was September 20th, so last Friday. It was a bill on Friday that would bolster Secret Service protection for major presidential and vice presidential candidates. The legislation would require Secret Service director, quote, to apply the same standards for determining the number of agents required to protect presidents, vice presidents, and major presidential and vice presidential candidates, according to the bill's summary. The final vote to pass the legislation was 405-0. The vote came as, you know what it is too. It is more money siphoned to Secret Service, so it's not.
Oh, that
you
it
know,
is a budget thing for Secret Service.
yeah,
too.
so
That's
it's
a great
not.
point.
It's a money thing, which I think everybody can get on board. The money train, and in some ways, that's kind of what Trump is doing too. You know, get on board and make that money.
Well, speaking of bipartisan commitments here, we have some bipartisan troubles going on over here in the Congress. This is coming from SCNR-ScannerNews.com. Lawmakers introduce legislation to address mass casualty event.
Oh, good.
This is another fast-paced bipartisan thing moving through here.
They're watching over us, Pat. They want us to be safe in case of a mass casualty event.
Interesting how they can move really fast on stuff when it comes to their own safety. It's pretty interesting. Continuity amendment being proposed to quickly replace congressmen killed during an attack, resulting in more than 100 House vacancies, which is they are getting ready for a catastrophe. They are.
You thought Jan 6 was bad. This sounds like they're preparing for an invasion, like the aliens to invade government or something.
100 Congress people to be taken out at once. Bipartisan
it's entirely
group
possible. Sorry, go
Well,
ahead.
yeah, I know all that, A bipartisan group of congressional lawmakers is proposing a constitutional amendment to address the possibility of a mass casualty event that could render the House of Representatives non-functional. Sorry, this is the House of Representatives, not Congress. Spurred by a series of incidents, including the assassination attempts on former President Donald Trump, the shooting of Steve Scalise and 3 others on a baseball field in 2017, Congress is refocusing on the threat of political violence, with some lawmakers stating that the legislative body is unprepared for such a scenario. Okay, so we got, they're preparing for political violence when it comes to protecting Trump and other presidential candidates. They have preparing for political violence when it comes to Congress. Some argue that failure to prepare for an incident that could remove a large number of lawmakers is an invitation to political violence. That's kind of a weird thing.
Wait, so due to political violence, an incident can happen, but they're saying also that once an incident happens, it could create political violence. So it's like, saying the thing that causes the thing is going to cause more of the thing.
No, they're saying a failure to prepare will invite more violence. If they do not prepare, then that will invite people to political violence. Still a weird little logical twist here.
It is weird. It is prepared. It's the other part that makes me wonder. The whole just to bring it up as a side note, but in reference to this, the whole Diddy thing and everyone's being exposed or whatever. I wonder if that has something to do with some people in government going to be taken down, and then better to remove him and have someone in there quickly before the pitchforks really come out and go after these folks. That
the timing is interesting, isn't it?
The time is interesting, yeah.
It seems like they are preparing for a catastrophic event of such historical scale that 100 Congress people could get taken out. Sure, there could be maybe a big explosion. Maybe there could be, coordinated individual attacks, maybe, or maybe they're just scared of the pitchforks and the torches when the peasants come marching in the street because they know what's up.
If half the people in Congress or the House get named, and everyone says, they point their finger, did he do it? And then they all say yes. Man, the pitchforks would come out. They would rather step down and have it filled quickly.
It could be a whole combination of things.
Right.
During a Thursday hearing held by the House Administration Modernization Subcommittee, Representative Brad Wenstrup, a Republican from Ohio, warned, quote, Congress hasn't fully considered the implications of a mass casualty event affecting members and, oopsies. Sorry, I did a bad scroll. Impact it would have on our ability to function in a time of need. So I think we need to take some next steps. Wenstrup is among 4 lawmakers pushing for a constitutional amendment. Now, this is like a big thing.
Yeah, this is
I mean,
huge.
the constitutional amendment, this is an entirely different thing than just like passing a law.
Right.
That would allow for a rapid replacement of House members if a mass casualty event occurred. Okay, now listen up because this gets really kind of spooky. Quote, a violent domestic terrorist attempted to assassinate Republican members of Congress. He decided to use assassination as a tool for political change. He wanted to wipe out the Republican majority and change the balance of power in our Congress, Winstrup said. Let's take that opportunity away. Now, interesting to note that hasn't been a Republican who has attacked a big group of Democrats in Congress. It's specifically, you know, people on the left trying to assassinate people on the right. Almost exclusively has that been the case over the past 5 years. Currently, the Constitution allows the Senate to fill vacancies with a temporary appointment until a special election can be held. However, House vacancies must be filled by special election, a process that can take months. So as it states now, a fill-in can come in and hold the position while an election happens. Seems reasonable, right? But it can take months. Well, yeah, that's why you have a temporary person. In a scenario where more than 100 House seats become vacant, a situation the lawmakers are planning for.
What? They're planning for it.
They're planning for it. Such a delay could cripple the federal government. I do not understand what the problem is with a delay if you're already filling vacancies with temporary appointments. It's not like you're missing. You're not missing 100 House seats. They are filled by temporary appointments. It's just you have to wait 49 days or something. Technically, the law says they have 49 days. Winstrup, along with Representatives William Timmons, Emmanuel Cleaver, he's the Democrat, one Democrat, and Derek Kilmer, another Democrat, is proposing a constitutional amendment that would expedite the replacement process for House members unable to serve due to mass casualty event. Now remember, casualty does not necessarily mean death in all cases. It just means unable to serve. Under the proposed amendment, every House member upon taking office would submit a list of at least 5 individuals who meet the qualifications to serve Congress. Except for one, Gons. The votes of the voters.
Oh, you mean the people? The people that these folks are supposed to serve. You mean they don't have a choice here?
The people they represent voting for these people. What you are doing, what the Congress people will do, will pick 5 alternates of their own choosing. Not voted by the people, nothing. In the event of the member's death, the governor of the state would have 10 days to appoint one of these individuals as a temporary replacement. The appointee would serve until a special election could be held. Following the September 11th attacks, legislation was passed requiring states to hold special elections within 49 days if a mass casualty event resulted in more than 100 House vacancies. Okay, so you're already ready for this. There's already a plan.
Why are they? Something's up.
However, a report from the Government Accountability Office found that many state election officials were unaware of this law, with only 9 states having implemented laws that align with the federal 49-day requirement. Even in states that have adopted the law, officials reported challenges in administering special elections on such a short time. Oh, it's so challenging. These challenges included recruiting candidates, managing public perceptions of expedited election, preparing ballots, testing vote machines. Although the proposed constitutional amendment has garnered some support, it faces significant hurdles. Constitutional amendments require 2/3 vote from the House and the Senate, followed by ratification from 3/4 state legislature. So, when a congressperson is elected, they will make a list of 5 replacements. And in the case that something happens up to 100, I wonder what happens if it's more than 100, but okay, they're just planning for 100. Then the members of Congress will be chosen by the political elites. Very similar, I may add, to the way that Kamala Harris is currently running for president. She was not, did not get a single vote. Okay. She was chosen by the Democratic elite. a detail that is sort of ironic, considering they say Trump is a danger to democracy, when Kamala Harris herself represents an undemocratic process. And in this case, where something could mysteriously happen to 100 Congress people, suddenly you have the political elite, the governors of the states, choosing Congress people without a single vote from the people. It's just another setup for this sort of dismantling of the idea that voting for our representatives is like, oh, I don't know, an important part of our constitutional republic. It's really crazy.
Yeah, and part of it also feels as if these are the cracks. I mean, the Constitution has been, people have been trying to chip away at it for a long time, obviously, and have succeeded in that. But in terms of the actual constitutional stuff itself, this seems like this is a part of what we've had as a country being prepared for destruction in a real serious way, especially because added with this all the technology stuff going on, right? Because you have this other story here, Basil, about the cyber attacks.
Yeah, another sort of knee-shaking moment for bipartisan people,
right? Especially
on Capitol Hill.
Yeah, so if they're unable to serve because of a particular event, a type of situation,
The COVID-19 crisis would be seen as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber pandemic.
Newsweek had the headline here: U.S. Capitol hit by massive dark web cyber attack. Reports.
Oh, this is great.
Personal information of more than 3,000 congressional staffers has been leaked across the dark web in a wide-ranging cyber attack on the Capitol, according to reports. Internet security firm Proton found over 1,800 passwords used by staffers in Congress available on the dark web through an investigation of exposed accounts among U.S. political staffers, according to the Washington Times.
The numbers are a little funky here. They're saying 3,000 congressional staffers have had their personal information leaked, but only 1,800 passwords.
They share passwords, man.
They're sharing passwords.
We're at work, there's a password. Multiple people can hop on a computer, and
good point.
Yeah. Proton, which is based in Switzerland. Why is it always another country? And worked with U.S.-based firm Constella Intelligence on the investigation, estimated that almost 1 in 5 congressional staffers had personal information available on the dark web. Proton said leaks came from several sources, including social media, dating apps, and adult websites, in quotations. Bow wow at the Capitol. In one instance, the report found that that a single staffer had 31 passwords exposed online. The full report said that around 3,191 staffers were affected by the leaks overall.
This part's the best. This is the best part, because you think, okay, now remember, these staffers, that's not necessarily the Congress people themselves.
Right.
The
people
staff,
running around, the assistants.
making it happen, right.
Yeah. It says here, quote, many of these leaks likely occurred because staffers used their official email addresses to sign up for various services, including high-risk sites, such as dating and adult websites, which were later compromised in data breaches.
We've got staffers on Capitol Hill, the people making this country run, using their official government email addresses.
Joe@congress.gov.
They're .gov emails. Signing up to Tinder and adult websites. Yeah. What in the world? I mean, I guess using that on your Tinder profile is a good way to have Project Veritas come ask you on a date or something.
That's true. Yeah. Maybe
it's
there's
crazy.
A whole culture that we don't see under the surface of something going on with the .gov people.
No, of course they talk about how we need more security and
of course we do. More surveillance, more security, lock it down. Decentralized.
But that's 3,000 people who are now sort of at risk of blackmail or whatever. I mean, much less
right. I mean, all of
phishing
us
schemes or hacks,
yeah.
Identity theft, stuff like that. But also blackmail. I mean, the whole government is basically run on blackmail now. I mean, we've known this for a while, but down to the simplest of staffer could be carrying out things that are protecting their I don't know, saving face or whatever, based on something a blackmail person is trying to. It's just crazy. It's total madness. I mean, the entire system is at risk here.
Well, that's why I feel like the advent of AI assisting in governments at a real tangible level is not very far off. And dare I say, and this is just, I'm throwing this out there as just a mental preparation for people out there. Maybe I've mentioned it before, but Trump will pass away at some point, in the next few years. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he won't, and he goes on for another 25 years or something, but at some point he'll pass away. And the amount of, we've seen the type of messianic fervor there is for him as a living person doing his thing. And I can only imagine what it's going to be when he passes away. And just beware, because it might get really weird. If you have all the technologies to keep him, quote unquote, alive in some kind of imaginary way of some sort.
It is hard to imagine a world with Trump not in it. For lots of reasons, but one of the reasons being that there is no sort of heir apparent. Like there's,
Barron.
maybe
I think Barron's the man.
I guess literally he is the heir apparent.
He literally is, yeah.
But I guess some people, might consider Vivek or something to be sort of an heir apparent. But it is a weird thing to imagine. And I mean,
he's caused such a wave, so impactful in how everything has played out in the last 10 years, whether by design or not. His absence would be a very I don't know. It would change a lot of things around here. So
clear they want his absence very badly.
I know some people do. Clearly, Iran apparently not controlled by military industrial complex at all. But so there you go. That's look out for AI and how it will play a role in everything from passing presidents to literally how our government works. And I feel like the transition is going to be hard. Government, especially because its whole design is to be slow, be thorough, be not efficient.
Corrupt.
Well, that's the problem. I think the problem is the corruption. But if you can eradicate the corruption and speed it up, people are going to be for that. So I think AI can really take over a lot of elements of it.
I still cannot imagine. I cannot imagine signing up for a dating or adult website with my .gov email.
I like how you're like, I can't even imagine. You got to make an anonymous account, man.
Well, duh. That's like, it's not even like, oh my gosh, the staffers are dating people online. Like, that's not whatever. Like, of course it's happening. But it's like, they're so stupid. Like, they're mind-numbingly stupid that they wouldn't just make or use a different email. It is the incompetence of these staffers that is frightening. Not that they're dating online or, watching stuff the Lord doesn't want them to watch. That's like whatever. Of course that's happening. With the videos that staffers have posted of them fornicating in the congressional rooms, like, we know that a lot worse is going on, but it's the stupidity, just the cluelessness, the brainlessness to sign up for these sites with your .gov, email is the scariest part. Well, here in a second, guys, we're going to get into what's going on with Alex Jones, what's going on with the federal court ruling in regards to fluoridating water, and of course the Sarko suicide pods. But first, I want to take a second and thank some more producers making this episode 777 happen.
Let's do it.
Yeah. You know what, folks? We're on the value for value model, which means these are all the people who said, you know what? I get value from this show. I want the show to continue. 777 episodes. That's pretty impressive. It's about time that I do my part in the value for value model. Canary Cry is not selling my attention, not selling my data, not selling my mind, the commodity of my consciousness, not playing in the supernatural, the spiritual marketplace that is advertising and consciousness selling. It's value for value. If you get any value, you can put value back in with your time, your talent, or your treasure. And this has been something that we have stuck to so against all good advice. I mean, obviously, if we were marketing, if we were advertising, we'd be making a lot more money. We constantly are getting, even now, still getting offers to advertise on the show from corporations. And not only do corporations and platforms not like it because they're not making any money on the show, but people don't like it either. And I've said this before. We have been raised in a system that makes us blind to the problems with our consciousness being monetized. It's what's got us into all of this problem in the first place. The trading of convenience for our personal data that then gets, shipped off and sold and used against us on a daily basis. The whole beast mechanism surrounds the idea that we're complacent about our brain, we're complacent about our attention, we're complacent about our identity because we like things for free, and we, are used to not having to take responsibility for it, even all the way back to our childhood and advertisements on TV. And people don't like it. Even listeners of the show don't like it. We got a text message. Somebody texted the text message alert system. Text Canary to 877-740-3226. You'll get on our text message alert system. It's the only way to truly get notified about the show. That's Canary to 877-740-3226. We got a message on that system. And I'm not gonna dox the person.
You're not gonna give him the phone number.
I'm not gonna air the phone number. They gave a
yes.
name, but I don't think it's their real name. But I'm not even gonna do that because I don't want this person to think that I'm trying to be malicious about their message. But just because people need to know the types of things that people say, and that, like, against all odds, we are somehow still able to do value for value. This message here, you guys, sad face, crying emoji, breaks my heart. They put a crying emoji. Your jingles and money grab sections of the show are way too much. There's that phrase again, money grab. I don't understand how value for value is a money grab and how advertising and just sapping your attention and your trust for own personal gain is not a money grab, but okay. But that's, this person is upset, and that's okay. Money grab sections of the show are way too much. I've supported you financially, participated in the YouTube chat Discord, but still can't stand the corny shout outs for these folks. Monday's episode was it for me. Letting you know, thank you for letting us know, I'm taking a break from this podcast for a while and unsubscribing. Wish you the best. Well, we wish you the best as well. The name that this person gave, I did go looking around to see, because I'm curious if they, they claim to have supported.
If it's true what they're saying, or if it's
true
not.
what they're saying. I could
if only
not.
there was a way to test that.
I could not track down any financial support with the name that they gave. Of course, they could have given a bad name, possibly.
Yeah,
and I couldn't really find it. Well, I didn't go looking too deep in the YouTube chats or anything. Sure. But, this is generally a comment we'll get from non-producers of the show. However, producers of the show are allowed to be critical. I just thought it was very interesting. Someone who has participated in the value for value model, or at least purports to have participated. Yeah, calling it the jingles and money grab sections way too much. But that's okay. These are the types of punches we have to take on the chin to stick to our principles, Gons, and we're going to continue to do that. And producers of the show are what make it possible. And we're going to think a few more of those right now. Ready?
Let's do it. Yep.
Okay. We've got, starting off, producer Sir Dylan, Night of the Wailing Avian. He comes in for 77,777 Satoshis.
Ooh.
That is the smallest measurement of Bitcoin.
Did he actually send the Bitcoin? Whoa.
Yeah.
Blockchain.
Oh, I gotta look it up on the ledger.
Yeah, if you got a crypto producer jingle.
Bitcoin, go to moon.
And let's see. Official crypto is not ready for this. You need to prepare me. You need to prepare, especially if it's crypto.
You know, you're gonna need
crypto. Do I look like I know what a crypto is?
You might need to start taking a stroll through the producer list here before the show, because I keep, I don't know what to tell you and what not to tell you. But Sir Dylan here has a note. He says, first and foremost, I just wanted to say how grateful and encouraged by the faithful work y'all do that the Lord has prepared to commemorate the day, episode 777, and the release of AOD4. I just sent 77,777 Satoshis as a Bitcoin producer. Thank you very much, Sir Dylan, Night of the Wailing Avian. And this actually brings Sir Dylan to, we're going to be upgrading his knight status. He'll become a baron today.
Ooh,
very exciting. Thank you very much, Sir Dylan.
Yeah, this is a special day for a lot of people, huh? This is pretty cool.
Coming in during the show, we have producer Raul S. coming in for $77.70.
Thank you, Raul S.
Thank you very much, Raul. Next up, we have Stouffer coming in for $777.
Stouffer
says happy 777 and AOD4 day. Love you guys. Stouffer Santa Wears Brown. Thank you, Santa Wears Brown.
Thank you.
Sir Alex Protocol V2 Night of the Berean Protocol coming in for another 1033. He's on a 326 episode streak.
Ah, okay. So the
just on a streak. He's keeping his streak, cruising.
Okay.
326.
326. But this is not an executive streak, correct?
Gonzo. No.
What?
We're not talking, we're not in the executive producer
Okay, that's
section.
because I didn't know for sure from last time. So
I know, it's just context clues. We're not in the section. We're here, 326 episodes in a row. Thank you very much, Sir Alex Protocol V2 Night of the Berean Protocol. We also have Sir Marty K, Night of the Wrong Timeline.
Hey, Sir Marty K, thank you very much.
$7.77. He has a note here. I don't know what all those complaining people want, fellas. I just want you to be happy. I did tell you that thanklessness is the world's wages. LOL. It's true. Personally, I had enough of knowing every detail of all those disgusting and horrible things after Pizzagate, so I don't care about P. Diddygate. I did look into the Danish recruitment thing from Instagool. I sent you the last time if you want to look into it, Basil. I attached their website below. For me, it seems stupid. You have to pay them and such to get a quicker and easier green card. Yeah, I'm assuming from Denmark, you're not going to have a hard time getting a green card. Thank you very much, Sir Marty Kane, Out of the Wrong Timeline.
Thank you.
Of course, we got Elio coming in.
Hey,
Elio is on a 29 episode streak.
Elio.
29. We've got Sir Ike, the tinfoil hat man, coming in for 777.
Hey, Sir Ike. Oh, you know what? I think we have a message from Sir Ike.
Yeah, he says here, well, he sent a little note here, so in a second. Judges, 7th book, chapter 7, verse 7. And the Lord said to Gideon, with the 300 men who lapped, I will save you and give the Midianites into your hand, and let all the others go, every man to his home. Interesting. 7th book, 7th chapter, 7th verse is Gideon's army, the 300 men, which I think is a great
analogy.
Of the value for value model. Yeah, because we're not the biggest show. We don't have the most supporters in the world, but it is a chosen few who keep the show going. I think our producers very much are like a Gideon's army. Thank you very much, Sir Ike.
There's an audio message from Sir Mike. It's for Sir Ike. Sorry,
have
Sir
you listened
Ike.
To it?
I have not. I just realized that I have not listened to it.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I guess give it a try. And...
Give it a try. Give it a go. Let's go.
Okay.
Hey, Canary family. This is Sir Ike here. I am wanting to let everybody know that I'm finishing up all of the master lists for the Q3 supply drop and shirt council. There are a few people that I am missing information on, either even contact information and or addresses. So if your name is Kurt L, Roderick B, Samantha O, Peter F, Marcus B, Kenneth B, if you could send me an email with your mailing address to canarycrysupply@gmail.com, I would really appreciate it. Thanks.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Ike. There's a good chance I have the information that I need to send to Sir Ike. I will address that. But yes, if you're any of those people, keep an eye out. Sir Ike's email address is canarycrysupply@gmail.com.
Yep.
Thank you, Sir Ike. All right, on the list here, we've got Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
Sir Casey comes in for $7.77.
Excellent. Does he have a note?
Of course, he's going to be... Yeah, hold on one second. He's on a 472 episode streak.
Oh my goodness. We don't have jingles that...
No, not that far.
That
I mean, 472 is 472. I got... Yes. Okay. Sorry.
These corny jingles. I hope that guy's listening still.
I don't think he is. Or maybe they are.
Bummer.
I don't know. I mean, whatever. There's lots of other shows to listen to.
Yeah,
okay, sorry. I thought that I had put Sir Casey's note. I know what his note is about, but I forgot to put it aside in case there was something that needed to be stated publicly. Oh, nuts. Oh, nuts. Sorry. Stall. Hit the stall button, Gons.
Stall. Uh-oh. I can't find the stall button.
No, we need the stall button.
Howard Dean Scream. Dean Scream is always good for that.
I mean, I love that stall button.
Here's stall.
Stall for 5 seconds. Here we go.
Here we go.
Black coffee. Yes, go
what?
ahead.
Why
I
are you
was
saying
drinking my
black coffee?
I was drinking some black coffee. No milk, no sugar, just straight black coffee.
Cool. That's cool.
Well, I didn't know you were ready after.
No, I mean it's professional covering there, Gons.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the thing that's bugging me is he sent multiple. Oh, he sent it to the other email address. This is a good time to address this.
Proton
Man? A lot of people will send emails to canarycrynewstalk@gmail.com, which is an email that does exist. But the email that we do most things through is canarycryradio@gmail.com. All right. So he sent a note here. He says, hey, Basil and Gons, happy 777 episode day. We are claiming another knighthood, this time for my wife. And then he goes into the math, and he's decided, they've decided as a family that they are going to be knighting Mrs. Shield Knight today. So that'll be
all right.
We've got you on the list. I've got her knight name. Congratulations. The family who peerages together stays together. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
And of course, producing the show, it's not just... if you're a married man, you're producing for your family. There's no, that's a team effort. That's not a personal thing. Thank you very much, Sir Casey the Shield Knight. That concludes the list of financial producers who came in the amount of $7.77 or more. Thank you to everybody who came in to make this episode possible. We appreciate it very much. There will be some knightings, some damings, and some title updates later on in the show. And there you go. You can go to canarycry.support to learn all about it.
Canarycry.support.
Okay.
All right.
Time for some more show. Let's talk Alex Jones.
The canary in the coal mine. They've been creating animal-human hybrids for decades who were made by the aliens. Elon Musk may be the Antichrist. Elon Musk may be the Antichrist. I'm going to eat your brain now. Is Trump going to have babies with a goblin and actually help the New World Order and turn against us like Darth Vader? The canary in the coal mine. We were made by the aliens.
That's a great Alex Jones track there.
Yeah. This is coming from AP. The headline is Judge to Approve Auctions Liquidating Alex Jones's Infowars to Help Pay Sandy Hook Victims. So the judge has agreed to liquidate Infowars. It says conspiracy theorist Alex Jones's Infowars media platform and its assets will be sold off piece by piece in auctions this fall to help pay the more than $1 billion he owes relatives of victims of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting under an order expected to be approved by a federal judge. U.S. bankruptcy judge Christopher Lopez, I hope that's not, I went to school with a Christopher Lopez. I don't think that's him. In Houston, said during a court hearing Tuesday that he will approve the auctions that start in November. But he said he first must change a previous order to make it clear that the trustee overseeing Jones's personal bankruptcy case controls all the assets of Infowars' parent company, Free Speech Systems, which is owned 100% by Jones. So this is interesting because it's kind of a breakup of a monopoly in its own little way. Obviously, Infowars isn't as big as like Google or Apple or something like that, but it is a moment of decentralizing this potentially. It says here, despite the pending loss of his company, Jones vows to continue his talk shows through other means, possibly including a new website, Basil, and his personal social media account. He also has suggested that Infowars' assets could be bought by his supporters, allowing him to continue hosting his show as an employee under the Infowars brand in their home city of Austin, Texas. So, much like stock exists today for big companies, that whole movement or that whole apparatus, economic apparatus, is becoming more decentralized. Your regular folks can start owning a piece of a company or a piece of anything, really, as we move forward into the digital world. But it's interesting because to help maintain the Infowars name, he's asking people to basically buy the auction, like the items off the auction. So that money is going to go towards the victims. I don't know if he's going to, I don't think he has $1 billion worth of assets, but, I guess it's going to help pay for it. But on the flip side, the people that buy that stuff can maintain the Infowars brand. And then again, Alex can just become an employee of the new corporation, basically owned by the people type of thing.
I don't think this includes selling like shares of the company. So it's not quite ownership of shares of the company. It says here, quote, it's very cut and dry that the assets of Free Speech Systems, the website, the equipment, the shopping cart, all that can be sold, Jones said on a recent show. And they know full well that there are a bunch of Patriot buyers, and then the operation can ease on. So the idea would be that his supporters go onto the auction. They bid on the cameras, on the computers, on the vehicles. They bid on the website. You get a bunch of Alex Jones fans purchasing all the equipment and other assets like the website and stuff. And then, with the idea would be that they, being the owner of the camera or whatever, would, lend it to the entity that is still Infowars. I guess Infowars is the brand. Free Speech Systems is the actual company that exists that is owned by Jones. So I guess that means, so the assets, you buy his camera
and
for $100,
give it back to him.
You give it back to him, and the money is sent off to whoever, the state, to distribute how it needs to be. It is interesting. I mean, they're like forcing an idea that lots of crypto bros have.
DAOs, bro. He needs an AJ DAO. Let's go, Alex Jones DAO. Someone build it.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's
make it a 404.
I don't know if there's like a control mechanism or something. If you buy his camera, I don't think that gives you voting power in
maybe he'll sign it.
systems. But the idea is similar in that he would basically just be crowdfunding a new venture. Like he's crowdfunding company that he already has. It's kind of a reverse crowdfunding. It's,
Right.
crowdfunding not to start something, but crowdfunding to keep something going. Here, buy the camera, just leave it here. It'll
Right.
be interesting to see if there's like requirements, like if the camera gets sold, is he legally required to put it in a box and send it to the owner, and then the owner can like
Has to-
switch out the shipping label, ship it back? They could make this as hard as on him as they wanted.
Yeah.
But it is a very interesting sort of forcing the hand of populism. It would be
Yeah.
a sort of strictly populist sort of enterprise at that point, which is a very interesting idea.
Yeah. Again, it seems to be, especially right now with Trump doing all the finance stuff and becoming a crypto bro, it's an opportune time to change things up a little bit. And, I mentioned earlier in the stories about government being hacked and all that stuff, how the way technology, AI, and all crypto, all that stuff will integrate into government may not be great, but if the individual institutions or smaller institutions like Infowars or something that, I guess they kind of toe the line between independent and big corporation type of thing, for them to survive or continue to exist, given the change in landscape of how the economic ecosystems exist altogether. It's fascinating to watch, and it kind of is. We have been front running this idea. We just haven't had the resources to exactly build the most resilient ship, I suppose. But this is a type of thing that we've been anticipating, especially with CanaryCry.tube and the focus group and all that. This is it, to prevent this type of, I don't know, situation where.
Well, it's not to prevent a type of situation. It's just a ground up type of version
Ground
of it.
up,
I mean,
sure.
crowdfunding has been a thing for quite some time.
Of course.
But this is. Here, let me read this part. The sell-off order Lopez intends to approve would put Infowars' intellectual property up for auction on November 13th, including its trademarks, copyrighted materials, social media accounts, and websites. I mean, that's an interesting bit too. It's very similar to like NFTs and,
They're digital assets,
Web3 domains, and stuff like that. So you could actually own. I wonder if that includes like the individual recordings of Infowars shows. Like, oh yeah, I bought episode 1000 of Infowars at auction, and now I own it, and I can, whatever. I'll give it back to him, or I won't give it back to him. It's mine, and nobody else.
It's
can watch
mine. I will not share with the. But it's funny with the. Well, I'm not going to get into it. There's a lot of problems with the way some of this may work out, but in terms of Web3, it's an interesting proposition.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be doing Web3 stuff, but there's an interesting analog here to what Web3 people have been talking about. Jones's personal social media sites, including his account on the social platform X, which has 2.8 million followers, would not be included.
Hey.
However, the trustee overseeing Jones's bankruptcy case, Christopher Murray, said Tuesday he may soon seek court permission to also liquidate Jones's personal social media accounts and his other intellectual property. Could we buy Alex Jones's personal X account? Should we start crowdfunding that?
I don't think we have enough to do on that. But that would be great. Yeah. Total
that
takeover.
Issue could develop into a further court fight. Okay, so this is like a whole thing gonna continue happening.
Yeah,
it's very interesting. It's again, they keep testing the limits of like the populist will to survive.
Yeah.
And the thing is that Alex Jones would have gone away a long time ago if there wasn't the will of the people to keep him around. Its own sort of version, or at least its own sort of expression of the value for value model. I mean, he's had a very hard time the past few years. Now, of course, he has lots of really big connections and he has lots of money, or he has lots of resources. He's an incredibly famous person. He's gonna be fine. Even if he has to go live in like Joe Rogan's guest house or something and make his show on an iPhone, he's gonna be fine. But it is an interesting situation.
Tinfoil nomad. Have Alex Jones spend the night at your house.
Yeah, do a couch surfing.
Won't do any
tour.
weird stuff. Just talk conspiracies.
couch surfing tour where he goes from couch to couch and like does an episode on some other, some news.
Every
every
podcast, 100.
Yeah.
I'll do 1,000 podcasts across the country in 1,000 nights.
He
should do it. That's a great campaign, actually.
Speaking of Alex Jones, let's talk about some fluoride rulings here.
Yeah, we need an update. What's going on?
This is very interesting. CBSNews.com. Federal court rules against EPA in lawsuit over fluoride in water. Remember, this is CBSNews.com, so this is as mainstream as it gets. Shoot! Come on.
A federal court in California ruled late Tuesday against the Environmental Protection Agency, ordering officials to take action over concerns about potential health risks from currently recommended levels of fluoride in the American drinking water supply.
Yeah.
Wow, what am I reading? Am I reading truthblog.com or something? What is going on? Why is CBS
I know. Well, and it's
reporting on
crazy because it's California too. This is
Let's go. I'm telling you, the comeback. The comeback.
Yeah. And it's federal, so it's it's not just a California specific thing, but it is happening in California. Federal court in California ruled late Tuesday against the Environmental Protection Agency, ordering officials to take action over concerns about potential health risks from currently recommended levels of fluoride in the American drinking water supply. The ruling by District Court Judge Edward Chen, an appointee. Now, this is where it always comes in. Like when you're talking about federal courts, you're like, okay, who's the president who appointed him? They'll say, oh, a Trump-appointed judge. A Trump-appointed judge did this, And so this caught me by surprise. District Court Judge Edward Chen, an appointee of former President Barack Obama, deals a blow to public health groups. Love it. And they're still framing this anti-fluoride ruling as like an assault on Americans' health. Oh, all your teeth are gonna fall out because we're not fluoridating your water. Deals a blow to public health groups in the growing debate about whether the benefits of continuing to add fluoride to the water supply outweighs its risks. Yeah, the implication here that groups that are trying to get fluoride out of the water because it lowers IQ and poisons people are not public health groups. Those are
terrorist organizations.
Public unhealth groups, yeah. Environmental nonprofit Food and Water Watch had a handful of anti-fluoride groups like the Fluoride Action Network have been in court for nearly a decade after the EPA denied their petition against local water utilities adding in the mineral. You mean adding in the toxic waste, the chemical waste. Yeah. While Chen was careful to say that his ruling, quote, does not conclude with certainty that fluoridated water is injurious to public health, he said that evidence of its potential risk was now enough to warrant forcing the EPA to take action. Love it. Forcing the EPA to take action because, they're not going to take action unless they're forced. Quote, in all, they are part of the government after all. Quote, in all, there is substantial and scientifically credible evidence establishing that fluoride poses a risk to human health. It is associated with a reduction in the IQ of children and is hazardous at dosages that are far too close to fluoride levels in the drinking water of the United States, the judge wrote in his ruling. Wow, words I never thought that I would read in the mainstream by an Obama judge. The judge's ruling cites a review by the National Institutes of Health's toxicology program finalized last month, which concluded that higher levels of fluoride is now linked to lower IQ in children. That's why they want it in the water. Why would they take it out? That's exactly why they want it there.
Yeah. It's the eco warriors, man.
Eco soldiers and space warriors.
This is very much like a Robert F. Kennedy type of movement. He did a lot of work on fluoridation of water and stuff, along with his other stuff. Way before, back when it was like a crazy conspiracy theory. He's been on this for a while.
Yeah.
While the report, they go into a report from the Centers for disease control. They talk about the science. Let's see here. He pointed to previously published studies of pregnant moms finding their fluoride exposure could be higher. EPA told experts that those higher levels could be in part thanks to other ways that people are now exposed to the chemical in their food or through toothpaste and other dental products.
I thought that was all conspiracy. Yeah, it's just tinfoil hat nonsense.
It is all tinfoil hat nonsense. Here's the judge again. Not only is there an insufficient margin between the hazard levels and these exposure levels, for many, the exposure levels exceed the hazard level. So it's very cut and dry, really. I mean, it's all about the numbers, as it always has been about the numbers. I mean, this is a great example that you could show your normie friends, like, yeah, remember all the tinfoil hat people talking about fluoride in the water? I mean, that used to be like as bad as it got. Like, oh, you believe in fluoride in the water and chemtrails? You crazy conspiracy theorist. Back when it was like a silly hobby for somebody to be a conspiracy theory, not a national security threat.
Right.
And now both, of course, both chemtrails and fluoride in the water are just like well-known, established things going on. So I thought that was pretty exciting.
Yeah. Check the chat. Check our private chat there, Basil.
Checking the private
go to this last thing here.
Oh, that's an interesting movement there. Okay.
Yeah.
Give us the sarcopod. This is interesting. Let me give you the sarcopod.
All right, here we go.
Speaking of the beast system, beast system.
So just an update here. Again, longtime Canarians will remember us talking about suicide pods back when it was crazy, kind of like fluoride in the water. You will remember the Sarco suicide pod. That is the sarcophagus suicide pod. Not a very cute name, if you ask me. But dailymail.co.uk is reporting Sarco suicide pod is used for the first time as a U.S. woman, 64, uses the capsule to die in Swiss woodland, prompting police to swoop and detain staff, which is crazy.
There's a lot of different levels to this, huh? Interesting.
A lot of different levels to it. So, if you go down to the one of the first pictures, you'll see the sarcopod. Back when we were reporting on it, they would just give us like computer generated, models of it. But there it is. There's the literal death booth.
It looks like
sitting
a giant
in the forest.
It looks like a giant flip phone back in the day, those Nokias.
Yeah, exactly.
But it also looks like it's spawned in the middle of a forest, the way it's kind of in the trees and the woods.
It's like finding like a good piece of loot in a video game or something. You're walking
just
around.
nestled.
You find the mega flip phone nestled in the woods. Well, yeah, long story short, this lady used it and killed her. And there was, some twisted details. Like there was a camera on her when it happened that they used to give to the coroner, so the coroner can have evidence of how they died. There was a photographer there taking pictures as it happened. He was detained by the police. I mean, this is one of those things that sounded so crazy and so out of this world. Yeah, maybe in like 2130, there will be suicide pods because there will just be so many people. It's 2024, and there is an active suicide pod that an American woman used out in the forest. It's really twisted.
They have a picture of the screen, and it says, please say hello to start or type your passphrase. And the caption here, a view shows the login screen and release button for pure nitrogen in the Sarco suicide machine.
You got to
type
log
in a password. Can you imagine if you forgot your password or you're messing it? I keep messing it up.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yes,
I'm ready to go.
Got to log in to log out,
baby. This is so morbid. It is so weird, man. So weird.
It's really twisted. And it's happening. It's happened now. There you go. Well, we got to get you out to pick up the kids here in a second, Gon. So we got to do some nightings and some damings. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready. Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, let me scroll down.
Let's see here.
This is wonderful. It's been a while since we've had this many nightings and damings and stuff. Where we have, let's see, scrolling. We're going to be knighting and daming Joe G and Miranda L, of course, for coming in for the 777 special. Separately, we had Mrs. Shield Knight, Menace Sensei, and Ionon all come in, reach their knighthood amount.
Sorry about that.
Largely thanks to supply drop. The timing of supply drop is
Yes.
also lining up right now. So we've got some wonderful producers there that we're going to be thanking for. Just real quick, little note from Menace Sensei here. Hello, Canarium, Gon Sensei, and Daddy Basil, your best buddy Basil for the normies. I, Menace Sensei, have finally made it to the elite circle of the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames. I remember hearing you guys since 2014 on Canary Cry Radio, and finally getting trapped into listening to Canary Cry News Talk in 2016. When the roundtable was announced in 2020, I was ecstatic, but also bummed out. I said, there's no way I'll reach the $1,000 or more threshold for such a title. But lo and behold, a year later, you guys announced the very first monthly donation program for $33.33 for producers who wanted the set and done option. I waited a month because of finances, but as soon as the funds were available, I started on my journey to knighthood, and you know all what's funny or not, depending on how you decrypt this. Today, September 25th, when you're reading this live to tape, is the 33rd month I have been producing since the day I started back in February 25th, 2022. I did not plan to start on the 25th or for it to land on episode 777. Does that make me an Illuminati handler? Oh, no. Sorry for the rant. It does.
Yes, it does. It does.
Yeah, and 33. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Sorry for the rant. I want to be known as Sir Menace Sensei, Knight of the Samurai Babies. God bless you all, and may God continue to bless this ministry. Happy to do it, Menace Sensei. What a great example of just constant, faithful support of the show, and God blessing that faithfulness. Ianon also came in. He's the God who sees me like he saw Hagar in the wilderness. He got us out of the dark place and led us to safety, gave us a church family and a place to belong. That was part of her message that she gave us, her night name as well. So, with that, oh yeah, we also have, we'll do a title upgrade for Sir Dylan, Knight of the Wailing Avian as well. But if you want to go ahead, we should have all of our knights and dames here step up to the podium. Thank you.
Yes,
You got your sword there, Gons?
I do. My katana. Katana. Very sharp. What do you have over
Okay, here's mine. I got this one. It's old reliable. Yes.
Okay, here we go.
All right. We would like to call up to the podium Joe G, Miranda L, Mrs. Shield Knight, Menace Sensei, and Ianon. Step forward to the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames, where we have a seat for you. Thanks for your generous support in the amount of $777 or $1,000 or more. We are proud to pronounce you Sir Joe, Knight of the Fatherless, Dame Miranda, Lady of the 777, the Lady Shield Knight, Sir Menace Sensei, Knight of the Samurai Babies, and Ianon, Dame Ianon, daughter of Adonai Elroy. Please join us at the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames, where we have the belt of truthful truthiness, the breastplate of righteousness, custom-fit Birkenstocks to carry forth the gospel of peace, the shield of ferocious faith, the helmet of substantiating salvation, the supernatural sword of the spirit, and of course adorable samurai babies, infinitely cute kitties for cuddling, and if you're hungry, we have fancy feast, wet food, carved Cosmo, the crisper cow, and of course fried wormicorns. Welcome to the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames. Sir Joe G, Knight of the Fatherless, Dame Miranda, Lady of the 777, the Lady Shield Knight, Sir Menace Sensei, Knight of the Samurai Babies, and Dame Ianon, daughter of Adonai Elroy. Holy smokes, been a while.
Hallelujah.
Since we've had such a batch, Gons. We're
love
gonna
it.
go ahead and make sure you guys make it on the list at the Canary Cry Roundtable. You can find it at canarycrynewstalk.com. Holy smokes. And Gons, don't settle down. Don't settle in yet. We have a title change for Sir Dylan, Knight of the Wailing Avian. I'm just going to double check real quick. Sir Dylan, just seeing if there is a see if there is a public facing message from Sir Dylan, because apparently I forgot to put it in the document. Lots of things here for 777. Okay, I don't think there is. Let me go like this. Dylan, there it is. Okay. He says, Good morning, hermanos. Happy show day. First and foremost, I just wanted to say how grateful and encouraged by the faithful work y'all do that the Lord has prepared to commemorate the day, episode 777, and the release of AOD4. I just sent 77,777 Satoshis as a Bitcoin producer. Secondly, I'd like to request a title upgrade. He was knighted on episode 333, completed the episode 555 challenge, received the coin. I've been on sustaining donations starting in 2017 for $5 a month, and now with T-shirt Council supply drops. Needless to say, I've been incredibly blessed by the content and enjoy that donations are highlighted to encourage others to become the content. In anticipation for episode 777, I have attempted for several months to collect all of my accounting and still await a total request from PayPal. However, I have not succeeded in a total, nor do I know the benchmark. Well, I checked your numbers. Your numbers are totally good. But whatever that benchmark may be, humbly, would you consider the title upgrade for this special occasion? Knighted, yes, and goes into some other stuff. So this is what we will doing. We will be doing that today. Thank you, Sir Dylan Knight of the Wailing Avian. Are you ready for a title upgrade? We would like to welcome the Honorable Sir Dylan, Knight of the Wailing Avian, to the head of the table as we honor you for your continued service to the Canarium. And today, in the sight of their roundtable peers, producers, and the good Lord above, we hereby bestow upon and recognize you by your new honorable title, Sir Dylan, Baron of the Wailing Avian. Sally forth and serve your Canarium in truth and faith and love. Let all who hear me agree. Amen. Woo! You gotta put a little more stink. Gotta put a little stank. Thank you very much, Sir Dylan.
Thank you, Sir Dylan.
Baron of the Wailing Avian. He says no message, but the message was very important, Sir Dylan. Thank you very much. Man, we have the best producers in the world. Thank you all so much. You make this possible. 777 episodes, and we're not going to stop. We're going to keep going. That's how the value for value model works, is when we stop creating value. When the producers stop putting value in, that means we've stopped being of value, and that's when the show should stop. That's how the world should work. None of this what is it called? Necrocapitalism, where media is being kept alive long after it's dead, simply for the corporate media, the corporations to continue to siphon the life out of it and the people. Thank you all for tuning into this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Thank you to all the producers in every shape and form. Thank you to the Clippies.
Yeah, I feel bad because we didn't get to some of the talent.
Well, the talent is the thumbnail was Miss G Beauty's, Dame G Beauty.
Dame G Beauty, yes. Jonathan F. came in with a whole bunch of jingles. Let me see. Is there one that we should
we have
play?
a lot of stuff. We're going to make sure that everybody gets their due, but you're going to be in a lot of trouble if you can't pick up the kids.
I know.
So I'm just going to speed it up. I'm going to say thank you to the Clippies, Courtney, Jones, and Kristen. You're the best. Thank you to the Timestampers, who really, really appreciate it. Of course, thank you to the Sentinel for making the Telegram channel happen. Make sure to join the Telegram channel. Adam42 for the Discord. Jam for the links. Joe for the feedback. Clank for clanking, folks. Go to Canary Cry Party. Make sure to get clicked in as much as you can. Join these communities, join the Telegram, the Discord, all these things. Get on the newsletter. Join the text message alert system by texting the word canary to 877-740-3226. Thank you to everybody who sent just really nice text messages to us today. It was very, very touching. And other than that, share the show. Share it with your friends. Share it with your mom. Share it with your friend's mom. Share it in unique ways that you're passionate about. Of course, you're going to retweet. Of course, you're going to send the link around. Of course, you're going to do all these things. And we're all going to experience the heavy hand of censorship that will continue to keep us down in that way. But word of mouth is really the best way to do it. And if you want to do it in a creative way, don't make you know what? Maybe a podcast pod. Maybe a podcast pod out in the forest. That might be a good way to do it. We don't need these Sarco suicide pods. No, that's not right. That's for the beast system. Somebody out there should invent a beautiful flip phone style pod that people who are having a hard time, who are a little down on their luck, they can go out into the forest, they can go into the pod and listen to Canary Cry News Talk.
It'll soothe
Hear
them.
the gospel message, know that they're not crazy, be informed about how the government and the mainstream media is lying to them left and right, and that should give people hope, especially hope in Jesus, who's coming back for us all. That's the way to do it. Okay, so somebody go make the podcast pod, put it in the forest. Let me know, because I might need some time in there. But that's just one way to do it. You don't got to do it that way. You can do it any way you want. We like to call it rattling cages, and all you got to do is walk right up to them, grab them by the cage, and then you shake it.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages.
Hey, stop that!
You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy.
Leave the bird alone.
Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right. Just ask Noah. Guys, you got any last words?
AOD4 is live on X.
It's live. Agency
it's live
4.
on X.
Go get it. Go share it. Wee.
Oh, so glad. So glad that I can hit that publish button.
It's a new era.
New era. Yep.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for tuning in to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk, episode 777. Make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cage.
Nomen Pronte here. This is for show 777, Paradiso, Part 2. Beyond the evanescent, dreams coalescent, truth triumphant. On this plane surrounding time, reverence is felt in shades of silence. Communing, I am aware, our souls form the structure of heaven. Grafting to the woven cord, volition found in acquiescence. Eyes up to the horizon, my love drinks in a dawn without end. The well that will not run dry, our longing, his signature sincere. Washing in resurrection, with the sign of victory christened, the light incarnate burning, baptized by fire, our eyes perfected. Perceiving that great storehouse where moth and rust could never be known. There every blessing returns in harmony transposed to healing. Upon her visage reflects the illuminate, everlasting. Burning from our countenance the remembrance of locusts and lies. Latent instinct, intrinsic, drawing us to our intended home. Confident in obtaining, Beatrice kneels before the I Am, eternal author of time, whose character fills the book of names.
Remember, reality is an illusion, the universe is a hologram. Buy gold, buy!
Together to ask help of the Lord, even out of all the cities of Judah, they came to seek the Lord. Art thou not our God, who didst drive out the inhabitants of this land before our people Israel, and gavest it to the seed of Abraham, thy friend forever. Oh, God.
no money from corporations, commies, or cartels.
Canary cry, that's support.